Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lady Deviyanti and I'm from TBIC class. I will explain about the human brain of psycholinguistic. The human brain here is composed of nerve cells that are the basic information processing unit of the nervous system. The cerebral cortex is the gray wrinkled mass that sits over the rest of the brain and accounts for language representation and processing. The longitudinal fissure separates the left and right hemisphere of the brain. The corpus callosum is the bundle of nerve fibers that connects the two hemispheres. The cerebral cortex is the body's ultimate control and information processing center. And for the frontal lobes is involved in speaking and musical movements and in making plans and judgment the executive. Parietal lobes include the sensory cortex. The occipital lobes include the visual areas, which receive visual information for the opposite visual field. Temporal lobes include the auditory areas, each of which receive auditory information primarily from the opposite ear. For the frontal, for head to top, called the motor cortex. Parietal, top to rear, sensory cortex. Occipital, in back, visual cortex. Temporal, in above ears, it is called auditory cortex. For the language is made up of socially shared rules that include the following: semantic or meaning, how to make new word, grammar, and social contents. And for the speech is the verbal means of communicating. Speech consists of the following: articulation, how speech sounds are made; voice, fluency and prosody; the right intonation, stress, and related attribute of speech. When someone has trouble understanding other people, receptive language, or explaining thoughts, ideas, and feelings, expressive language, that is a language disorder. When someone cannot produce speech sounds correctly or fluently, or has voice problems, that is a speech disorder. And for the anatomy of language, there are several areas of the brain that play a critical role in speech and language. From the Broca's area, located in the left hemisphere, is associated with speech production and articulation. For the Wernicke's area, is a critical language area in the posterior superior temporal lobe, connects to Broca's area via a natural pathway. Wernicke's area is primarily involved in the comprehension. Historically, this area has been associated with language processing, whether it is written or spoken. The auditory regions allow us to associate multiple types of language-related information, whether auditory, visual, or sensory. The angular gyrus is an important element in processing concrete and abstract concepts. It also has a role in verbal working memory during retrieval for verbal information and in visual memory for when turning written language into a spoken language. For the last, the insula is implicated in speech and language, taking part in functional and structural connection with motor, linguistic, sensory, and limbic brain area. Okay, maybe this is from me. Thus I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.